Ceramic paint palette. We are going to start off by creating a template. I want you to fill up the whole page, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, with your design so that your design is at least 8.5 inches tall and almost 11 inches wide. Then you need to cut it out and set it aside for after you have your clay prepared. You're going to receive a slice of clay from the block, so you don't really need to wedge it, but what you need to do is use some spacers, which we're going to use rulers, at least 3 of them stacked up on each side, so that your clay is at least 1/2 inch thick. Be sure to flip it after every few rolls so that it doesn't stick to your table. After you're finished rolling out your clay, put your template onto your clay and trace it out with a needle tool. Gently remove your extra clay, ball it up, and keep it under plastic because you're going to need it for later. Using a soft tool like this blunt wooden tool, I'm gently tracing the outlines of my wells. You need at least 10 wells. You want to make sure they're large enough that you can mix your paint in there, and then you also want to make sure you can mix plenty of colors. Remove your paper template and you can see the outline. I'm just smoothing out my edges a little bit and making sure everything's exactly the way I want it before I start carving into my wells. Using your carving tool, you want to gently start removing the extra clay from inside your wells. Do not dig all the way down to the table. You're only going to go down about 1/4 of an inch. Once you're done carving all of the wells, use your finger to smooth up the inside. We may need to let it sit overnight under a light cover so that it firms up to leather hard. It will be easier to smooth it up after that. After my wells are smoothed out the way I want them, I'm going to use a damp sponge and just smooth out the whole thing. I'm also going to turn it over and smooth the underside. When you finish smoothing it out, set it aside, lightly covered in plastic. Using the extra clay that you have, go ahead and wedge it, and we are going to create coils. The coils should be no thicker than your thumb, and you need to have enough coils to go around the perimeter of the bottom of your palette. You don't need to make one super long coil. You can make a few smaller ones and then just attach them once you start putting it onto the palette. Score the perimeter of your palette where you're going to attach your coil, and also score on your coil. Add some slip and go ahead and attach your pieces. When attaching your foot, make sure that you don't smash it down too much because you do want it to stand up on its own. Try to make it as level as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Once you get the whole coil attached, then you can go and level it out. I decided mine needed a smaller coil in the middle just so that it wouldn't sink down. So depending on your design, you might need one too. Don't forget to write your name and your class period on the bottom. Turn it over to make any final adjustments. You might need to fix the wells. Maybe they got pushed in from the other side. Don't smash down on it too hard. You're going to lightly cover it and let it sit. Once it is dry, we will bisque it and then it'll be ready to glaze.